think perhaps one day, if we should marry, that I could sit beside you?
Yes, I think that would be fine.
Get away from my wife, you rascal!
Oh, such language in the presence of a lady! If it's a row you want, I will cleave you in twixt.
Hey, hang on, Cotter. I think I know how to take this guy down.
Grab him by the pussy.
Ah!
Hi, Alternate Keck here, and I'm doing a therapeutic video for people who thought Final Fantasy 15 gave them blue balls. I know it gave me blue balls. I'm going to call it Final Fantasy 15 Blue Balls Fetch Quest Unleashed, because that's what the game is. So, let's first talk about the first subject I want to talk about. The underwhelming main enemy, the antagonist. He has so much potential, but they ruin him. So, let's go look up Arden. Now, Arden, he just hangs out. He's a great personality, and you know, if they had added more to him, added more fights, he would be a great guy. He would be a great antagonist. But you see, you don't really get a sense of danger from him that much. At first, he gives off a creepy vibe, but he never capitalizes on it until the train scene. And you know, on the train scene, that was talk about potential there for a boss fight with him. Why didn't he turn into a demon there and kick your ass? That would have been great, but no. Gotta wait all the way to the end. And, you know, I haven't actually beaten it. I'm sure he turns into a demon because he reveals it after Noctis gets sucked into the crystal for 10 years, which is also stupid how they did that. Another great idea with potential wasted. So we're all getting, I think you get what I'm saying about Arden. Wasted potential. He has a great personality, and with just a little bit more fights, a little bit more effort, he would have been one of Final Fantasy's greatest antagonists, and that's what makes me a little mad about that, because Arden was fucking awesome, and I wanted to see more out of him. So, let's compare that to Seymour from Final Fantasy X. Man, Seymour does the same exact shit as Arden. He exploits you, he uses you, he betrays you, unveils how he's actually fucking crazy and a demon. But you actually fight him multiple times. You get a sense of danger from him, man. When Seymour's around, you're on edge as you're like, man, he's about to transform to something. I'm going to have to fight him again. Like, what is it going to be next? And if you've beaten Final Fantasy X, you know what I'm talking about. You fight this guy maybe even, I think, 5 times, man. First, it's his normal form, and then he turns into this form right here. Oh, wait, is this all the forms? Oh, wow. These are all or most of the forms. Yeah, but yeah, he has like a bunch of forms, man. And they're all crazy. And that's it with that. But he has a form in Mount Kilika that pierces you. He does this like jet move, or he flies up in the air, and then or something like that. It's been a while since I played that. And he inflicts zombie on you, and then he cures you and kills you. It's fucking awesome. And he petrifies you. It's great. None of that happens. None of that happens in Final Fantasy 15. And you know, there's like they have all these status alignments that you can get in the Final Fantasy series. In Final Fantasy 15, you rarely encounter them. I think I ran into Doom once. And I did a lot of side content, man. I did a lot of boring side content trying to get to the fun side content. And doing the dungeons was fun. I went to every single dungeon I could. There's a few I haven't done yet, but I've beaten at least 4 of them. And they're great, but why weren't they incorporated in the story? So, Seymour's a much better enemy. Let's look at the world map of Final Fantasy X. now Final Fantasy X is structured differently than Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 is more open, but while it's open and there's a lot more cool things to see, that's all there is. They're just cool things to see. Final Fantasy X, there's definitely less cool things to see with your eyes, but your mind's going crazy, man. The few times that you do see like something crazy in the environment, because a lot of the environments in Final Fantasy X are corridors, or what feels like corridors. It's corridors with an environment around you, so it looks more open world, but you're just going down a corridor. But it looks cool, like when you're going down the Calm Lands. Or not the Calm Lands, I'm sorry, Mian High Road. When you're going down Mian High Road, it's just a straight line, but you see all this field around you, and all this tall grass, and you hear about the Chocobo Eater. Pretty sure that's Mian High Road. But man, that's great. That was funny. You fought the Chocobo Eater, and in Final Fantasy 15, you actually do fight a Chocobo Eater. He's a behemoth, and it's a pretty underwhelming fight that they hype up as fucking crazy, but by the time you get to him, you're usually over leveled, because in Final Fantasy X, there's lots of different boss fights, but it's all structured. There's lots of fights and everything, but it's all structured. It's open near the end where you can go to all these spots, and for being corridor style maps, they do allow a lot of exploration. They built in a lot of exploration. There's a lot of paths that lead off to little juts and they dead ends, but there's usually shit there, something to see, someone to talk to. Because Final Fantasy 15 is an open world, man, you go through all this and it's awesome for the eyes. There's not a lot to do. It's like, you're here, and there's some side quest here, where I'm pointing my mouse. There's lots of stuff here. Oh yeah, there's tons of side quests. If you like doing fetch quests, and you like going fighting cool monsters that they made side quests instead of incorporating into the game, man, you're gonna have a great time. And I had a great time until I realized I was at the end, and I was like, man, there's so many monsters in my bestiary that are going to be side monsters, or going to be in Lucius over here, that they give you a boat, and you think you're going to spend a while in Lucius, but you don't, man. There's this whole fucking city. There's this whole city that you can explore, and they have you in here for like 10 minutes. And they should have had you exploring everything. There should have been a main quest for like having you go through this whole place. Have it work somehow, man. In Lucius, they did that. I mean, Lucas and Lucas in Final Fantasy X, they did that. Oh, Luca. You had to go save Yuna, so you were exploring Luca, trying to find Yuna. And on top of that, when you go to Luca, it's a lot easier to navigate. This place is a mess to navigate, because you have to go on these ganga thingies, these canoes, and there are bridges, but it's so blocked off, man. There's like walls everywhere. It's so hard to navigate through here. Maybe they did that to compensate for having no content here, because there's no content here, guys. And I want to go do that arena. I bet that arena's fun. I'm gonna do that after I beat this last boss. Because I was excited to go do that. I was like, oh, because I was going to talk to the first secretary. That was a great scene. Why don't they have more of that? I thought this is where the game peaks. You get here and the game peaks, and then you realize it's a slow roller coaster to the end. And it ends, and it's like, man, there was so much wasted potential. I know you guys are thinking about all the wasted potential here. Look at this world map. Man, there is so much shit here that they could have incorporated into the story. Glad they incorporated this into the story. So it's just crazy. And then all this, they could have incorporated this into the story. So here's my biggest gripe. Here's the last thing I'm going to end them, so you get a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. If anything I said didn't make sense up till now, maybe this will help. So, in Final Fantasy 15, when you're on the train, there's a little encounter with Arden. You go to attack him, and it turns out it's actually Prompto. So you knock Prompto off the train. And you're like, oh no, my friend. And that's kind of the end of that for a while. Until you go release him in Insomnia in a very underwhelming way. And you know, Arden kind of teases you a couple times, but man, you're going to see how underwhelming it is. And meanwhile, Final Fantasy X, when Steamwar steals away Yuna, man, it's a big deal. They get on the airship, they invade fucking Luca, you get a summon, you do a lot of shit here. I'll show you just a little snippet. Here is you rescuing Yuna. No sound for me exact. Speaker turned off over here. And then yeah, blah blah blah. If you beat in the game, you fight your way up to her. They do their little kiss.
Let
And
them
then
go. Oh,
she goes, oh,
This
don't
is
worry about
foolish.
me, I'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Great. Whole little longer than 9 minutes. I think they cut off all the fighting that you did. Here is saving Prompto.
Hey, you alright?
Are you hurt? Do you need help?
I'm fine.
And then you have a little talking scene where he asks, oh, did you care about me? Did you care I was gone? And you can be an asshole and be like, no, I didn't. Fuck you, man. I just came to save you because I need another person. I need your special. I need your tech ability, man. You're just another person, another sponge. Or you can be like, oh, yeah. I really cared about you, dude. You're my best friend. So it's stupid. You know what? They could have hyped it up. They could have made it been like, oh, Arden is teasing Noctis. They could have showed a video of him being tortured, of him trying to turn him into a demon. Be like, could have been like, Noctis, like every single second that you're wasting fighting these guys, Prompto is turning into a demon. And you're gonna lose your best friend. None of that happens. All he does is he like teases Noctis, like, oh, where's your friends? Oh, you're not so good with your friends. Instead of like terrorizing him, like how he should. He should be terrorizing him, and he doesn't. He's just strapped to that machine. He's strapped to that machine. I had so many questions about that machine, and you don't see it. It's just useless. Like, is he trying to turn him into a demon? Was that a torture machine? Like, I don't know. It's never brought up again. The whole him being kidnapped was pretty useless. Unlike in Final Fantasy X, where Yuna was like, quote unquote, kidnapped because she wanted to marry him to bring peace. And that's that. Final Fantasy 15 gives you blue balls. It's a fetch quest. So much potential that's lost. And that's my little rant. Alternate Keck out.